You can work so hard to retain large quantities of information for an exam, but if you don't prepare yourself mentally and physically before that exam, all that hard work can sadly go to waste. When it's time to take your exams, you have to relate to yourself as a top-class athlete. You need to eat the right foods, have the right mental attitude, and let your body rest when it needs to, leading up to your exams. These simple things can make all the difference to your mental clarity and performance. So, join us today as we list down the top 10 tips for test taking. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to our channel and turn on the notification bell if you haven't already. And that said, here are the top 10 tips for test taking. Number 10. Start your preparation early. There is no substitute for preparation if you haven't studied throughout the semester, if you haven't reviewed before test day, if you don't know the test material. All the test-taking strategies in the world won't save you, because preparation is key. Starting early with your exam preparation will give you ample time to review everything you've already studied. So don't leave anything for the last moment and make sure you understand your subject thoroughly. This will make revision much easier. You can also set up a timetable to manage your time effectively. First, note down how many exams you have and the days you have to take the exams. Then, set up your study schedule accordingly. Remember, you may want to devote more preparation time to some subjects than others, so try to achieve a balance at your convenience. Number 9. Get a good night's sleep. Studies have found that if you stay awake for 21 hours straight, you have the mental capacity of someone legally drunk in terms of your ability to concentrate, memorize, and recall information. You can't afford to stay awake all night studying for an exam. Why? Because you won't be able to effectively recall information for the exam. It's as simple as that. Staying up all night and cramming will only make you more anxious and stressed out. So instead of trying to cover everything in your curriculum the day before the exam, it's better just to review what you already have studied and sleep early. This will keep you refreshed on the day of your exam. The key exam preparation you should be doing the night before your exam includes the following. Gather all your study material, review your notes, test yourself on the main concepts, set your alarm. Besides, don't forget to take at least a minimum of 7 hours of sleep before the exam. Remember, exams are designed to test your thinking ability. So, if you are sleep deprived, you might not be able to complete your exam in time or justify your answers correctly. Number 8. Eat a nutritious breakfast. Sometimes while studying, you may be tempted to eat junk food, but it can really impact your energy levels. So, avoid junk food and make sure you eat nutritious and well-balanced meals that are good for your memory and concentration, such as seeds, nuts, fish, blueberries, and yogurt. Also, consider eating a healthy meal before the exam day that will provide a slow release of energy throughout the day. Bear in mind that you might crave sweet food, but it will crash your energy levels an hour later. Did you know that you think better when you have a full stomach? So, don't skip breakfast the morning of the test. Studies have found that students who miss breakfast experience a 20 to 40% reduction in concentration, memory, and alertness. You want to eat a nutritious breakfast to feel fuller for longer, stabilize your mood, and give you plenty of energy for the day. Number 7. Always arrive early and take a moment to relax. By arriving at the exam room early, you'll increase your confidence if you take time to relax. You'll also be able to narrow your focus for the upcoming test. Moreover, arriving early may allow you time to ask any last-minute questions from the instructor or listen to explanations being provided to other students. Some study resources suggest that it's better to arrive on time to avoid brain pickers, students who ask questions right before a test, but we disagree. We believe there is more to be gained by arriving a little early. Number 6. Drink lots of water. As one of the most vital tips for exam day, always remember that keeping yourself hydrated will add to your overall positive mood and will make your brain work at its best. Often when we can't think clearly, it's because our brain needs to be hydrated. While studying and taking your exams, make sure you take regular sips of water. So, make sure to drink plenty of water while preparing for exams and even during the exam. Number 5. Remember, your teachers want you to do well. Years ago, we started thinking that my teachers and lecturers were out to get me and would mark me down whenever they got the chance. As a result of this thinking, I became too scared to write anything in one of my first tests at law school. After receiving my terrible mark, my brother said this to me: "Remember, your teachers want you to do well. They will try to give you marks wherever they can. It's in their interest to do so. So don't worry about writing a perfect answer. If you're unsure, still write it down, even if it's in dot points. You may not get any marks for it, but they won't take marks off. Just remember, your teachers really are on your side, despite all evidence to the contrary. Number 4. Stay focused in the exam room. Listen attentively to last-minute instructions given by the instructor. It's not uncommon for teachers to alter test details at the last minute. If you miss test instructions, test-taking anxiety will increase. If you miss them, don't be scared to ask for instructions to be repeated. Secondly, do a memory dump. A memory dump can be an advantageous strategy for improving performance on certain types of tests. As soon as you begin the test, write down information that you'll likely need to know for the test and you fear you may forget, like formulas, equations, dates, and lists. Furthermore, be sure to read the test directions very carefully and watch for details. Test questions and directions often contain valuable information. Always read all directions carefully to ensure you understand what is being asked. Frequently, test instructions will notify students that they only need to complete 2 questions, but there will be 5 options. You should also plan how you will use the allotted time. Take a moment to estimate how much time you'll have for each section of the test and each question. Allow enough time for more difficult sections or sections that are weighted more heavily in the final test grade. Pace yourself so you can complete the test in the allotted time frame. Complete the questions you know first, then come back and tackle the problems you're not sure about after. Number 3. Take a few deep breaths when you get stuck. If you come across a question that you're not sure how to answer in the exam, stop for a moment and take a few deep breaths. In for the count of 3 and out for the count of 3. If you're not sure how to answer it there and then, move on to another question. Those tricky problems can knock you off balance. Don't get worried or frustrated. Reread the question to make sure you understand it, then try to solve it the best way you know how. If you're still stuck, circle it and move on. You can come back to it later. What if you have no idea about the answer? Review your options and make the best guess you can, but only if you don't lose points for wrong answers. The worst thing you can do is start to panic, because as they say, stress makes you stupid. You won't be able to think clearly. Number 2. Answer all the questions. Even if you're running out of time and can't answer all the questions fully, it's important to answer all questions. Many professors will give partial credit for partially completed questions, or if you're able to show your work. Note, there are some tests in college where you're docked points for guessing. This is rare and usually will be announced by the professor before the test. The trick is to maintain a positive attitude. Don't lose confidence or waste time if you encounter confusing or difficult questions. Answer the questions you know first. Disregard patterns. It's probably a coincidence if a string of multiple choice answers that you know are correct is an A. Rely on your first impressions. The first answer that pops into your mind is usually the correct answer. Don't change answers unless you're sure the answer you've chosen is wrong. Number 1. Do not evaluate post-examination. How many times have you stayed back after an exam to talk to your friends about what you put for each question? How many times have you felt anxious after doing so? It can undoubtedly be reassuring to know that you wrote the same answer as your friends. But if you find out that you wrote something different and have another 4 or 5 exams to take, this may throw you off your game. After finishing your exam, if you realize that you have given an incorrect answer to one of the questions, it may cause anxiety. So, avoid evaluating your question paper because at that point, you'll be able to do nothing to change your answer or your score. Instead, stay focused on your studies and prepare for the next exam to ensure that you do not repeat the same mistake. And that brings us to the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed our video. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel for more of our awesome content. And please give us a like and share the video. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our new uploads. We value your feedback. Feel free to share your thoughts with us in the comments section down below. I'm Mickey V, and until next time, goodbye.